Hello, this is John Todd, and thank you for coming and joining us on this Medicaid calculator. I just wanted to go through a little bit more information about the secret number one: save money before you qualify for Medicaid. I told you that the first secret to maximize savings on your nursing home bill is that you can save money before you qualify for Medicaid. The big idea here is Medicaid allows you to reposition your assets and qualify sooner. This is important because it allows most couples to preserve virtually all of their assets. And that's what I said. Couples are allowed to reposition assets in a way that allows them to preserve virtually all of their assets. And then also, even a single person can legally save over half their assets a lot of times. So by following the rules, you can maximize your savings right away. So I just wanted to go through that just a little bit more, kind of explain how those rules work with Medicaid. So let's talk about assets. Assets can be divided into two groups, and the first group is exempt assets. Now, basically, that just means that Medicaid, this doesn't affect Medicaid eligibility. So the things that are in the exempt asset group would be your primary residence, one vehicle per adult. And again, I'm talking about what applies to Idaho. There's slightly different rules if you're in another state. If you have questions about that, feel free to contact me. But in Idaho, primary residence, one vehicle per adult. So if you have a couple, that'd be two vehicles, are exempt. And then your personal effects, what you wear, what you have in your household, your jewelry, all of that's exempt. Medicaid's not worrying about all of that unless you have collections that are of investment value, which, in Idaho, people have gun collections, people have art collections, but unless they're really of investment value, Medicaid's not worried about any of that. And then life insurance without a cash value is exempt. And then your retirements are exempt. So sometimes there are special rules around that. We have to check into that, but usually those are exempt. So that's the first group of assets. The second group of assets that we want to talk about are countable assets. Now, Medicaid rules apply to all of these. So that would be your checking and savings accounts, all of them. Any CD or money market accounts, any stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or any other investments. Any other real estate besides your primary home. So if it's a rental property, or if it's just a second vacation home, or if it's a farm, each one of those are treated differently, but generally we would call those countable assets. And then additional vehicles, including boats, campers, RVs, trailers, ATVs, and so on. Or any lands, contracts, or promissory notes. And if you have those, you probably know what that means. So those are the two main groups. Countable assets are the main ones we're going to be looking at. You do have to report some of those exempt assets. So let's go on to the next area. Now, when we're talking about the assets in Medicaid, couples have the advantage. And there are special rules for couples. While one spouse receives the nursing home care, the Spousal Impoverishment Rules allow the spouse at home to maintain their current lifestyle in the community. Now, Medicaid has a complex formula to decide how much is enough for the community spouse, how much is enough for the institutional spouse or the spouse getting Medicaid. But if Medicaid still decides you as a couple have too many assets, there are several things you can do. Every situation is different, and so it is good to explore these options with a trained professional. In most cases, where a couple has countable assets, that's that list that I just showed you a minute ago. If a couple has countable assets like these, checking, savings accounts, CD, money market accounts, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, additional real estate, and additional vehicles, boats, campers, and so on. If they have countable assets more than $27,000, the Medicaid office will say that you don't qualify for Medicaid without spending down some of your assets. Now, let me tell you, the Medicaid workers are not allowed to tell you the rest of the story. So it's technically true that they can say you don't qualify now without spending down some of the assets. What they don't tell you is that you're allowed to reposition some of those assets, and they're not allowed to tell you the rest of that story. So anyway, I want to show you a case study here, a case that I worked with. So here we have John and EILEEN. EILEEN, I've changed the names, but EILEEN was admitted to the nursing home and was expected to be there long term. The couple's life savings was about $60,000 in the bank. Medicaid would say they needed to spend down about $28,000. Basically, they were encouraging them to private pay the facility. If that were $9,000 a month, then in 3 months and a little bit more, they would have spent down that $28,000, and then they would say, come back and apply to Medicaid. When they talked to me, I looked at that situation. I was able to reposition that $28,000 instead of spending it, and we showed Medicaid exactly what we did. And because we did it according to the rules, EILEEN was approved the beginning of the next calendar month. For this couple, saving $28,000 is a big deal to the lifestyle of John and the community. And I don't know if $28,000 is a big deal to you or not, but if you only have $60,000 in the bank, and that's what you've saved over your life, to have to, feels like wasting the money, $28,000, and then to be able to save that money, reposition it according to the rules, that was a big deal to that couple. So let me just show you another one. Singles are a little bit harder. Although couples have the advantage, there are advanced protection methods where a single person can usually protect half of their assets and sometimes more. I'm not going to go through the particulars in that scenario, but the Keep Your Savings Medicaid calculator that you've signed up for and use provides a pretty close estimate of what may be possible. And I just want to tell you, that is a kind of a complex formula. I've never seen anybody else put it into a calculator like that, so you have a special treat to be able to have access to that information. Now, I do have to do this next slide. It's a disclaimer. Please remember, this information has been provided for educational purposes only. We cannot provide legal advice. The information is the opinion of the author. Examples are for illustrative purposes. Your situation may be different, and actual savings will depend on multiple factors, including the timing of the different actions taken. And then remember, these are advanced techniques that need a professional. Repositioning assets of a couple, or if you're a single person and trying to preserve or protect about half of your assets, there are advanced techniques that need a professional. So that's not a do-it-yourself project. An error in trying to do this on your own can cost you thousands of dollars. So if you're in this situation and you're interested, want more information, please contact our office. You can text NH Savings to that number, 678-506-7543, or you can email me at eldercarefinancialllc@gmail.com. Again, text Nursing Home Savings, NH Savings, to that number, 678-506-7543, or email me at that email address. All right. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.